Hello Toronto, you know me, Cowboy Corey. This week I'm gonna cook a brisket. Now you know there's lots of ways to make this. I love smoking. I love braising meat. This week we're gonna focus on steam braising. What that means is we're gonna put it in a pan and we're gonna roast it, but we're gonna cover it and put a little water in the bottom and it's gonna slowly steam our meat. Now you may notice over the course of this video that this piece of meat kind of goes from a square to a rectangle. And though that's not movie magic, what that is the other day for my dinner with country musician people, I got a brisket, 6 pounds from my butcher, and when I went back to get one for this video, they didn't have any more brisket because it was a long weekend. So this is a different cut of meat. Still, it's gonna cook the same. It's basically a big flank, but it's gonna go exactly the same way. It's just a different shape. And the first thing I'm gonna do is pour a little salt and sugar over this brisket. And that's gonna semi-cure it overnight in the fridge in the morning and pull it out, rinse it over cold water and pat it dry. Now ideally I let this air dry and that's gonna help the spices stick. For spices, I'm just gonna use some paprika and chili pepper. I got some guajillo here. I'll rub it down with that, pop it on the tray, pour a little water in the bottom and cover the top with tin foil. So in the oven at about 250 degrees and then just let it sit there. It's gonna take a while. Every once in a while, open up the oven and see if this pan is drying out, because if you haven't sealed that aluminum foil tightly, it will kind of evaporate. So add a bit more water, brush it with what drips off, pour all those drippings out, use that to brush it down. And towards the end, about the last hour, pull the cover off, and what that's gonna do is it's gonna change the meat from being kind of moist to more sticky, which is of course that finished product what you want. The fat top will get nice and sticky. And then pull it out and slice it, it's ready. For dinner with Tim Hicks and Ron Kitchener, I served it with a big bowl of potatoes and bread and tomatoes and some of my homemade pickles. I had a sandwich the next day. It's gonna be great at room temperature. Today, I'm just gonna throw it on a plate with some of my grandmother Flora's pickles and tomatoes. The reason, by the way, I made beef for country music folk, if it's not pandering to say folk, is that I figured if you're making country music in Canada, you must be from Alberta or Manitoba, but actually Tim Hicks is from St. Catharines, and other people from Halifax and BC, they're from all over. I shouldn't have pandered like that. I would say something like y'all come back, but that would also be condescending. So I'll just say, join me next week for more thrills, more chills, more spills. I'm Corey Mintz for thestar.com, and I'll see you next week in a little tale of Ward 7.